Yo, what's going on guys? Coach D here. And today I'm gonna train chest, but while I'm training chest, I'm gonna run through 5 key points for you to level up your progress. Each one of these points is so important in reaching the next level. So you'll get to see the exercises that I'm doing for chest, and you'll also get to listen to the tips that I've got to offer. Let's get in with my first set. So first tip is be accountable. That's the most important thing here. You can't make progress if you're not accountable, whether that's to yourself or to a coach. Just be accountable for something, because if you're not tracking your progress and you're not making sure that you're staying on point with things, then you're just never gonna make progress. You're always gonna stay in this one spot. What accountability does is it forces you to the next level, because you've got yourself on your ass, or you've got your training partner on your ass, or you've got your coach on your ass, and that's what leads you to becoming better and better and better. One of the first things you've got to do when you're starting an accountability journey is just creating some sort of structure to your day, to your week. That initial base structure is what you've got to be accountable to. The thing is, if you don't know where you are right now, then you don't know where to go next. It stinks, someone stinks. Oh, that's not me. Let's get the vest on now, more warmed up. Pump cover came off before the video even started. Now the second pump cover comes off, because we've got 2 pump covers, because that's how cold it is in England, guys. Tip number 2 is eat nutritionally dense food. I see way too many people just trying to pile in shit calories, and shit calories aren't going to amount to growth, because your body needs the nutrients. Think about micronutrients, not just piling in loads of food, because I know you young guys, that's what you do. But focus on the micronutrients too, because those little things are going to help your body perform optimally. If your body's not performing optimally, there's going to be no growth involved. Let's pack some more weights. Also, you need to remember, the more body fat you gain, the less responsive that your body's going to be. So you want to keep body fat at a minimum level. Look at me, I'm in off season right now. I've still got abs. You do have to pack on a little bit more fat in the off season, but not to the point where your body becomes unresponsive to food and new protocols and new drugs or whatever you've got going on. It just needs to be in a decently lean state in order to be responsive. So keep that in mind. You know what, yeah, just in case I was the guy that stunk, I should probably spray myself. This should be a bonus tip. Spray yourself in the gym so you don't smell like ass. Those there just to prop it up so I can get my first rep up. So if not, it'll be too down there, too much strain to get it up on the first rep. Ooh. Loads of people, let me catch my breath. Loads of guys will use fast carbs, like simple carbs, like Cocoa Pops, cereal, squares bars, all that kind of stuff post-workout. But me personally, I don't like to use that. I'll use it if I need to. Once you start pushing into the higher calorie range, you start getting close to 4,000 calories, then utilize those. But for the most part of it, I just love chicken, rice post-workout, the whole foods. Even if you listen to guys like Nick Walker, I'm sure a lot of you guys know who he is. He said chicken rice, that's all he eats. He doesn't do this fast sugars thing. It doesn't fill you up the same, so you don't get the same pop from it. I know some people might just say bro science or whatever, and oh, scientifically this works, but you just got to go what works for you and what works for your body and what makes your body look really good. And if chicken rice makes you feel better, makes you feel like you have more of a fullness to you, then that's where you want to be going. You don't just want to use Cocoa Pops and Squares bars because everyone else is using Cocoa Pops and Square bars. If that makes you feel good, that makes you work better, then yeah, go ahead. But like I said, chicken and rice will always be my priority until I start pushing over 500 grams of carbs, 500, 600 grams of carbs in a day, then yeah, stuff like that is needed. But for the most part of it, just keep it nutritionally dense and keep it whole. So as I move my way over onto this flat press machine now, we're gonna talk about tip number 3. Train with intensity. That's tip number 3. Every single set, you're going in to kill it 110%. Make sure you're training with intensity. You're not just coming in to tick the boxes and do little baby movements. You're not coming in to train like an influencer, like you won't see one video, one facial expression on this video that's like because I train with intensity. I don't train for Instagram, I train to build muscle. So come in to train with intensity and build muscle, because the only way you're actually gonna build muscle is by overloading the muscle. So all these funky stuff that you might see on Instagram or YouTube, it shouldn't be a priority. The priority should be overloading the muscle with heavy ass weight, and that's how you're gonna build density. That's how you're gonna build proper muscle mass and muscle that'll last. So make sure you're training with intensity and you're really breaking down your muscle fibers. You'll see the way that I train. You might not see it in this video, but other videos that I do now and in the future, I'll train one heavy set. I might do like 6 to 8 reps, and then I'll do a back off set, which is 10 to 12 reps. So I'll go for the overload of the muscle, and then I drop the weight down, and then we go more where I really focus on the squeeze part of the exercise. So it's kind of 2 different focuses in the 2 sets, but it works and it grows muscle. If I'm honest, there's no 100% right way to train. Yes, there are a few ways that you might say are more optimal than others, but it's just about getting in the gym and tearing down muscle fibers. And you know what does that? Like I said, intensity. That's the only thing that does that. So if you're coming in, you're training with intensity, you're training with purpose, doesn't matter what exercise you're doing, what rep range you're at, anything, you're gonna tear down the muscle fibers, which are gonna be forced to then create the new, bigger, fuller muscle fibers. So yeah, just come in and train with intensity. Don't worry about all these little things. Just come in and train hard. And if you're finding like straight sets aren't really working for you and you don't feel like you can get the intensity with straight sets, then maybe have a dibble dabble in some intensifiers, supersets, drop sets, cluster sets, all those kind of stuff, pyramid sets. Just use all these different ways of training to your advantage. Like I said, it doesn't matter what you do and how you train the muscle, it's going to be overloaded if it's training with intensity. So use those intensifiers to your advantage, have a play around, make your workout fun, but as long as you're pushing every single rep. Yeah. Tip number 4, we're coming with rest. If you want to be performing at high level, if you want to be a high performer, then your rest has to be right up there at your top of the list of priorities. If you're not getting proper sleep, you're not getting 8 hours of sleep a day, watch out for this guy. If you're not sleeping well, obviously your body can't recover. I'm not just talking about sleep though when I'm saying rest. It's like a whole topic of rest and recovery. Like getting massages and having baths, using Epsom salts, all that kind of stuff comes under the topic for me as rest. It's just chillax time. As a bodybuilder, you might need your 8 hours sleeps, but then you also probably have an hour nap somewhere else in the day as well, because we put our body under that much stress. But you need to make sure you're doing anything to just counteract what we're doing in the gym. Not counteract in a negative way, but counteract the stress that we're putting in the gym every single day. We need to do something to combat that. Is that a better word for it? So, like I said, massages, baths, cold baths, ice baths, hot baths, cryotherapy, massages, whatever you want to do, cupping, whatever you want to do, which is going to help you relax and just help your body have that little step away from the gym and give you that little bit of chill time. Utilize it, because we can't perform at 100% if we're not rested. Also, you'll find you don't look as good when you're not rested. So that's why it's important, say on like peak week, the week before a show in bodybuilding, the athletes need to rest. You need to stop cardio. You need to probably not train legs for a week previous, a week and a half previous, 10 days previous, because we need our bodies to look rested and relaxed. God, I'm out of breath, I don't know what I'm saying. We need our bodies to be rested and relaxed to bring the best look. The muscles won't pop, the muscles won't absorb the carbs that we're trying to put in, the water, all that kind of stuff. So, let me catch my breath, man. So yeah, if you want to look your best, it's best to be rested. Don't just bash yourself. Some people train twice a day as well. I think training twice a day, innit? Unless you're like on competition prep, you've got cardio first thing in the morning, then you come into the gym later in the day and you're doing your actual workout session, that's okay. Or if you want to do cardio before work and then after work, you're going to come to the gym and train, that's okay. But if you're coming in and training multiple times a day, you're not going to look great, I promise you. Yes, you might see pro bodybuilders do it, but remember, they are the elite of the elite. You don't want to be doing what the elite of the elite are, because you know what? Your body can't handle it. That's their full-time job. That's why they can eat, rest, recover, because that's their full-time job. You have to go to work and stuff. They go home and they can sleep. Do you know what I mean? So it's not right for you. That's just for the elite. So don't be thinking, oh, I see Phil Heath training twice a day. I see Big Ramy training twice a day, or whatever. I don't know who trains twice a day. But you shouldn't be doing it, because you're not an elite athlete. Maybe once it becomes your full-time job, then you have an excuse to do it. But I promise you won't recover, because you're not like them guys. You ain't about that life. All right, tip number 5, listen to people. Pay attention to others that know things, more things than you. That's people on YouTube, that's people in your gym, that's people you come across on Instagram. Ask questions, absorb information, and listen. Remember, you don't know it all. You never know it all. I never know it all. There's guys that know more than me, and I have to question those guys, ask their opinion on things, and then gather all the information. And then what you do after you've gathered information off a bunch of people is come up with your take of things. This is what I've learned from this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy, and this is my philosophy as a bodybuilder or as a fitness guy or a gym guy or whatever. This is my gym philosophy. I think that's the main thing. That's why everyone has, because everyone has so many different opinions about every single little thing. Everyone's got different opinions, so it's just about, I think, creating your own philosophy and your own way around things after picking other people's brains. Right, you need to be careful on who you listen to as well. Be very careful, because although there are loads of people that do know more than you, there are loads of people that chat absolute waffle. And they may seem like they know what they're talking about, but they don't. It's like a fine line. It's so hard to find people that you trust in the bodybuilding industry, but you just got to look at the results that they've got, where they are in their personal career, their personal progress, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, you're not gonna look to take advice from someone that's got like a beer belly and stuff, are you? So you got to be really cautious of who you take advice from. You also don't want to be taking advice from like gear junkies, people that you just smash loads of drugs, because the amount of people I've spoke to in just anywhere I've been, and they've been like, oh, I've spoke to this guy, he's told me to do this, 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 and this. And it's like, if you do that, you're gonna end up killing yourself early in life. So it's so, thinking about it now, it's actually so hard on finding who to trust in the industry. So be careful. Always do your own research and find backup for everything. Find a backup for everything. Like, find something to back up that statement. If you can find multiple people backing up the same statement, then yes, go ahead with it. But if it's just that one guy and it's very questionable, don't go ahead with it. So find people that you can trust, and then always hold on to them as people that you look for your bodybuilding philosophy. But overall, just absorb and take yourself to the next level by using these and listening. But that's what Physique Coach is here for. So you can always click any of my links down in the bio or whatever and drop me a message, because I obviously know what I'm talking about, don't I? Just gonna finish off myself with some triceps, but that is the 5 key points of how to level up your gym progress. So if you've not pressed the subscribe button, make sure you go press it now. Drop your questions in the comments, and I'll catch you later.